When you have a child that's as sick as these kids have been, you need some place to stay without worrying about how much it's going to cost you and when will I get out and all of those questions that come up. Art started it because he was so concerned about kids that sick having a good place to stay.
Hello, I'm Nancy Grand, and my name is on the front door of Family House, along with my late husband, Stephen. In 2005, Stephen was diagnosed with cancer, so he would have to stay overnight at the hospital. I wasn't allowed to use the bathroom in his room. If I wanted to use a bathroom, I would have to go down to the public bathroom, which was down the hall. And at night, there were people laying on the floor, all cuddled up. They looked like kind of a quilt of people. The next morning, I said, "What's going on in that waiting room?" And they said, "That's the waiting room for the neonatal intensive care unit. And these people want to be as close as they can to their children." But I got to go home in the morning and take a shower and refresh for the next day, and they did not. So I mentioned this to Stephen and I said, "We have to look into this." And we went home and talked about it. We said, that's got to be ours. We're solving a problem that we actually saw on the ground, literally.
We weren't just building another building, we're actually building a community. It was something that was very important to everybody at Nibby. We just had great collaboration from everybody on the team, from Bob Nibby being part of this entire process. He was a person that helped us along the side to really bring this building to light in Mission Bay. This building has meant so much to me. I've had the opportunity to bring my family here, my wife and my kids, to kind of see what it really means and sit down with the families and have that opportunity to share a story, to have a conversation, to cook a meal. It's something special that I'm never going to forget.
Opening in Mission Bay in 2016 changed everything. First of all, it was an amazing achievement by an entire community. It changed the way we can serve more people with 80 rooms a night, and now we have 4,500 volunteers every year to serve our families. We have more casual spaces for families just to sit down in, find each other, or to have a conversation with a volunteer. It's just more of everything. I love how the outdoor space can be a place for a party. It can also be a place for someone to sit in a rocking chair, decompress, and get away and have some time to think. It really just feels like a more generous expression of hospitality.
I think Todd and I were really drawn to Family House initially because of the mission, how really obvious the need is to help families who are seeking life-saving care at UCSF. Seeing such a big and modern facility compared to what we'd been in before, the proximity to the hospital, and how wonderful that was going to be, what a great impact that was going to have on our families and our ability to scale and deliver even more services and programming to them in the future. So it was really, really exciting. Starting with the mission, getting to understand the families and their needs, getting to know the staff and just the magic the staff brings and the commitment of the staff, supporting that vision and implementation of that programming and services, and seeing how much it's just blossomed over the years and how robust it is has been super fulfilling.
Every room had its own bathroom, its own privacy, its own dignity. Every family would be at a kitchen within reach of where their room was and in touch with their neighbors to talk about their days and to support each other. Everybody knew what everybody was going through. There was like built-in empathy and support group. If you have a child who is diagnosed with a serious illness, they're in a circus on a trapeze, and all of a sudden somebody brings a great big net. I know that when my husband got cancer, all I wanted to do was talk to other people who were going through that. So just imagine it's the worst week of your life. You've gotten news that you can't even digest, and there's a place for you to go where other people are going through the same thing. They speak the same language. Nobody can tell you what to expect, but at least someone's holding your hand or has their arm around you and just knows. That is very, very powerful for a family.
I think if there's anything that this year needs to do, it's to really share that spirit of gratitude for all of the compassion that's possible at Family House. And whether you were here in 2016 or you're here right now, you know that it took an entire community to make Mission Bay possible. And for that, I say on behalf of the families and board and staff of Family House, thank you.
The Mission Bay Family House was so totally different than the one we started with. The need was there, so there was no question we had to expand. I think it's worked out well.